Welcome to Millennium Daily News. This is Ifat Fatima with top stories. Trump meets Macron, shadowed by Putin. Brazil's ex-president Lula convicted of corruption. Trump's federal nominee has history of benefiting from bailouts. Firefighters tackle blaze in Turkish military zone near Syrian border. Sri Lankan president reaches Dhaka on 3-day visit. And South Africa look to du Plessis against England. Those were the headlines, now the detail. In normal times, President Donald Trump's 2-day sojourn to Paris would be a simple and uncomplicated mission. But as the Russian election meddling drama intensifies, these are not normal times. Trump will serve as guest of honor at France's Bastille Day National Military Parade on the 100th anniversary of America's entry into World War I, invoking American triumphs abroad with a dash of pageantry that could help lift a struggling presidency and position him as a strong commander-in-chief. His trip also offers the chance for Trump to forge a strong relationship with an increasingly influential world leader, France's new president Emmanuel Macron. Donald Trump Jr. wasn't always comfortable being in his father's shadow. The father and son have a complicated history that includes a tabloid divorce and a year without speaking, Trump Jr. told New York Magazine in a 2004 profile. But later, the senior Trump found a key role for his son in the family real estate business and eventually his political circle. I think I probably got a lot of my father's natural security or ego or whatever, he told New York Magazine. I can be my own person and not have to live under his shadow. Trump Jr. added that he looked up to his father but noted their differences. Some staunch Republican donors and activists are acknowledging for the first time that the inquiry into President Donald Trump's campaign's ties to Russia is making them nervous, though more about the White House than the party-wide fallout. The suspicion has been heightened, said Bob Vander Plaats, an Iowa evangelical leader and power broker. His comments came the day after Donald Trump Jr. tweeted images of emails that showed he had arranged a meeting with a Russian lawyer after being offered dirt on Hillary Clinton's campaign. Former Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has been convicted of corruption charges and sentenced to 9.5 years in prison. The judge ruled he could remain free pending an appeal. Lula has rejected claims that he received an appointment as a bribe in a corruption scandal linked to state oil company Petrobras. He says the trial is politically motivated and has strongly denied any wrongdoing. The case is the first of 5 charges against him. A fire broke out in a military zone in Turkey's southern province of Kilis, bordering Syria, and 10 soldiers suffered mild smoke inhalation, the provincial governor's office said, but there were no other casualties. Broadcaster CNN Turk showed images of black smoke billowing into the sky above the blaze, which spread to an ammunition depot and triggered small explosions, according to a statement from the Kilis governor's office. It said firefighters were working to extinguish the blaze and the affected soldiers were taken to a hospital in the town of Kilis for treatment. The cause of the fire was unclear. Viewers, now going for a short break, we will be back with the headlines. Farhad Mazhar was not abducted, IGP. Prime Minister justifies submarine procurement from China. Qatar Airways still pursuing American Airlines stake after a code-share hitch. Macron urges greater Eurozone convergence, presses Germany to act.
ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট
একটি স্বপ্নের ঠিকানা, একটি সুন্দর আবাসস্থল। ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট আপনার স্বপ্নের বাস্তব রূপ দেয়।
নতুন ডুপ্লেক্স, অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট, কমার্শিয়াল বিল্ডিং নির্মাণের জন্য নির্ভরযোগ্য একটি প্রতিষ্ঠান
ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট।
অত্যাধুনিক ডিজাইন, সর্বশেষ প্রযুক্তির সমন্বয়ে আমাদের কর্মতৎপরতা কনক্রিট, সিমেন্ট আর ইস্পাতের মজবুত বন্ধনে
গড়ে উঠুক আপনার বাড়ি। রোদ বৃষ্টি সহ সকল বৈরিতার বিরুদ্ধে করি সঠিক ট্রিটমেন্ট।
আপনার শহরের প্রাইম লোকেশনে রয়েছে আমাদের অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট।
আপনার কষ্টার্জিত টাকা এবং আমাদের নির্ভেজাল শ্রমে নির্মিত হোক আপনার স্বপ্নের বাড়িটি। আপনার জীবন হোক সুন্দর এবং আনন্দময়।
আমাদের ঠিকানা ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট 211 ইস্ট 43 স্ট্রিট সুইট বি 507 নিউ ইয়র্ক NY 10017। ফোন 718-893020।
ইমেল friendsdevelopment@optimum.net। নিশা ট্রেডিং একটি আন্তর্জাতিক মানের গার্মেন্টস প্রোডাক্ট আমদানি ও রপ্তানিকারক প্রতিষ্ঠান। ইউরোপ, এশিয়া ও আমেরিকা সহ বিশ্বের নানা স্থানে বাইং, মার্চেন্টাইজিং এবং ম্যানুফ্যাকচারিং করে থাকে। সর্বাধুনিক প্রযুক্তিতে তৈরি বিভিন্ন ডিজাইনের পোশাক বাজারজাতকরণ এবং বিপণন এই প্রতিষ্ঠানের লক্ষ্য। প্রতিষ্ঠানের বৈশিষ্ট্য: উন্নতমান নিশ্চিতকরণ, টেকসই পণ্যের নিশ্চয়তা, নির্ধারিত সময়ে পণ্য সরবরাহ, লেনদেনের স্বচ্ছতা ও বিশ্বস্ততা। যোগাযোগের ঠিকানা USA কর্পোরেট অফিস 1747 থার্ড স্ট্রিট সুইট 215 জ্যাকসন হাইট নিউ ইয়র্ক NY 11372। বাংলাদেশ কর্পোরেট অফিস বাড়ি নং 145 সপ্তম তলা রোড নম্বর 12 ব্লক জি দক্ষিণ বনশ্রী খিলগাঁও ঢাকা 1219।
Writer and columnist Farhad Mazhar was not abducted as he left home of his own, said Inspector General of Police AKM Shahidul Haq. After analyzing data and information, it seems to us Farhad Mazhar left Dhaka and came back of his own, said the IGP while briefing reporters at the police headquarters, reports the UNB. The IGP said Mazhar crossed Aricha Ferryghat when his family members informed the law enforcers about his abduction on the morning of July 3. Normally, abductors use microbus, so we ordered police across the country to check microbuses, but they didn't find any clue of Mazhar, added Shahidul Haq. He said Mazhar roamed around Khulna New Market area from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. It was seen in CCTV footage of the market, he said. Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena reached Dhaka on a 3-day state visit to Bangladesh, highlighting the growing ties between the two countries. A Sri Lankan Airlines flight carrying President Sirisena and his 73-member entourage comprising ministers, state ministers, deputy ministers and business community members landed at Shah Jalal Airport at 11:25 a.m. President Abdul Hamid welcomed Sri Lankan President at the airport amid guns, salute and guard of honor. Upon arrival, the Lankan President will be escorted to his place of residence, Sonargaon Hotel, in a ceremonial motorcade, from where he will head for National Martyrs Memorial Server to pay respect to the martyrs of liberation. A Dhaka court framed charges against all the 5 accused, including Shafat Ahmed, in connection to Banani double rape case. Dhaka Women and Children Repression Prevention Tribunal 3 Judge Shafiul Azam framed the charges against them, rejecting their bail pleas after they appeared before his court. The court also fixed July 24 for the recording testimonies of witnesses. Earlier, on July 9, a court fixed July 13 for framing charges against the accused in the case. The court took into cognizance the charges against the accused and fixed July 9 to start the hearing on the charge framing in the case on June 19. Of them, Shafat and Naim Ashraf were charged for rape, while Shadman Rakif, Shafat's driver, Bilal Hossain and bodyguard Ramat Ali for assisting in the offense. A special team of physicians from Health Ministry reached Fozerhat Infectious Disease Hospital in Shitakunda and collected blood samples of the children infected by an unknown disease. Civil Surgeon Azizur Rahman Siddiq said the reasons behind the fever couldn't be known yet, but the physicians primarily suspect that malnutrition might be the cause behind the disease. Meanwhile, the samples have been sent to Chittagong Medical College Hospital for laboratory tests, he said. 9 children reportedly died for viral fever and 46 others fell ill in hilly Tripurapara of Shitakunda in the last 4 days. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said there will be no negative reaction in the international arena due to the procurement of 2 submarines from China, as it was a decision of national interest. I believe the procurement of submarines from China is a decision of national interest and there will be no negative reaction in international arena for this, she said. The Prime Minister said this while responding to a stirred question from M. Rustam Ali Farazi, Pirojpur 3 in Parliament during Prime Minister's question-answer session. She said Bangladesh procured the 2 submarines BNS Nabajatra and BNS Agrojatra, aiming to upgrade Bangladesh Navy to a 3-dimensional force to modernize the country's defense system. This has elevated Bangladesh in the field of national and international politics, she said. Viewers, now Millennium Business News. Qatar Airways said it will go ahead with plans to buy a stake in American Airlines Incorporation even though the US carrier is ending their code-share agreement. American Airlines announced that it was cancelling code-share agreements with Qatar Airways and Etihad Airways as an extension of our stance against the illegal subsidies that these carriers receive from their governments. Both Middle East airlines deny they are state-subsidized. The European Union remains an incomplete project and will require changes to its treaties that bring greater convergence between Eurozone member states, French President Emmanuel Macron said in comments published lately. In an interview with French regional daily Quest France, Macron, who favors deeper European integration, said Germany was benefiting from a dysfunctional Eurozone. Macron, elected in May, has cancelled for giving the Eurozone a single finance minister and a common budget, a proposal that has been met with caution by German Chancellor Angela Merkel and suspicion in Berlin that German taxpayers might be left having to shoulder common debts. President Donald Trump's pick to lead bank supervision at the Federal Reserve benefited from the government bailing out or rescuing 2 banks during the 2008 financial crisis, but they may not prevent this confirmation by a U.S. Senate controlled by a business-friendly Republican Party, policy analysts told Reuters in recent days. Randall Corliss, a former Wall Street lawyer and U.S. Treasury official who now runs an investment firm, was part of a team that invested in troubled or failed banks while he was an executive at private equity firm Carlyle Group LP. Those investments earned hundreds of millions of dollars for Carlyle, profits that would not have been possible without government support. Google has revealed it has built a London data center for the cloud computing services in rents to third parties. The facility is its second in Europe after Brussels and promises to provide faster access times to nearby clients. Google is currently the 3rd most capable cloud computing service provider, according to a recent study. But the report by Granter suggested Amazon and Microsoft had a clear lead. The technology consultancy added that in terms of sales to the cloud infrastructure as a service market, Google's share was also a distant third. The UK's fiscal watchdog has said health costs are the biggest risk to the government's spending plans. The Office for Budget Responsibilities says the UK faces the challenge of an aging population and the high cost of technological advances. It also says lifting current limits on public sector pay increases would pose a fiscal challenge. But on Brexit, the OBR says a large divorce bill for leaving the EU would not be a big threat to UK finances. Instead, it argues that trade agreements with the EU other trading partners are more important for the long-term growth of the UK economy. Viewers, now Millennium Environment, Science and Technology News. London's Natural History Museum has undergone a major revamp, with a blue whale skeleton now forming the main exhibit as visitors come through the front door. The marine mammal replaces the much-loved Diplodocus dinosaur DP, which will soon head out on a tour of the UK. The museum believes the change will give its image a refresh. It wants to be known more for its living science than its old fossils. The museum employs hundreds of researchers who engage in active study on a day-to-day basis. A group of Afghan schoolgirls taking part in a robotics competition in the US have been granted visas to attend it after their initial applications were denied, US media said. US President Donald Trump has urged authorities to rethink their decision, AP news agency said. A US travel ban is in place for 6 Muslim-majority countries, which does not include Afghanistan. According to AP Homeland Security Department spokesman David Lapan said the visas for the Afghan girls had been approved after a request by the State Department. An American space agency probe has returned the most detailed pictures ever of Jupiter's Great Red Spot. The Juno spacecraft passed over the giant storm as it continued with its series of close passes of the gaseous world. The pictures of the spot reveal the intricate nature of its swirls, which encompass a region bigger than Earth. Juno's instruments all accurate data during the pass, which should now provide fresh insight on the storm. An image and short film has been encoded in DNA, using the units of inheritance as a medium of sorting information. Using a genome editing tool known as CRISPR, US scientists inserted a GIF-5 frames of a horse galloping into the DNA of bacteria. Then the team sequenced the bacterial DNA to retrieve the GIF and the image, verifying that the microbes had indeed incorporated the data as intended. The results appear in Nature journal. Viewers, now Millennium Sports News. South Africa will hope the return of captain Faf du Plessis leads to a revival in their fortunes in the second test against England and Nottingham's Street Bridge starting Friday. The senior batsman missed the series opener following the birth of his first child, but returned in time to see the Pretties suffer a convincing 211-run defeat inside 4 days at Lord's as England went 1-0 up in the fourth match series. Drop catches and wickets off no balls cost South Africa, while their second innings collapsed to 119 all out, showed how much they could do with du Plessis' customary resilience with the bat. Bangladesh star takes to social media to refute claims in the country's media an attack of his wife forced him to flee the UK. Bangladesh cricketer Tamim Iqbal has taken to social media to deny a hate crime against his family was behind his sudden departure from the UK. Tamim had been contracted to play 8 T20 matches for the Essex Eagles in the English domestic T20 competition, but left the country after just one match. He cited personal reasons for the sudden departure, but it was reported in Bangladesh media that his wife and young son had been targeted by a hate crime. The 28-year-old left-handed opener took to social media to deny reports in Bangladesh media his wife had been the target of an acid attack while dining at a restaurant. Michael Carrick has succeeded Wayne Rooney as captain of Manchester United after the club's all-time top goalscorer moved back to Everton, AFP reports. It feels great and it is such a huge honor to captain such a great club, Carrick told the club's MUTV on Tuesday. The 35-year-old added, "It is my 12th year now and I came as a 25-year-old. I never thought I could be here for so long and achieve so much. Now to lead the boys and look after the young boys to guide them in some ways, it is a nice thing and a real pleasure," he said. Before ending the headline are once again. Trump meets Macron, shadowed by Putin. Brazil's ex-president Lula convicted of corruption. Trump's federal nominee has history of benefiting from bailouts. Firefighters tackle blaze in Turkish military zone near Syrian border. Sri Lankan president reaches Dhaka on 3 days visit. And South Africa look to do places against England. This is all for now from Millennium Daily Newsroom. To get any kind of news, please log into facebook.com/millenniumtvusa and youtube.com/millenniumtvusa. Besides, to get the most updated news, please visit to our website www.millenniumtv.net. Stay with Millennium. Allah Hafiz.